Family who's waiting for answers is getting help from the council members tasked with serving them.
They can't justify why they shot him because, like Mr. Wallace said, they didn't do all they could have done to get him to come out.
Asking for more transparency from the law enforcement agency that shot and killed Christopher Jordan during a standoff.
In November, Jordan's sister called 911 saying she felt threatened by her brother. When Fort Myers police arrived, Jordan locked himself in the home on Stella Street. After 45 minutes, police claimed Jordan pointed a gun at officers. They then shot and killed Jordan. Councilman Johnny Street sent a letter to the chief of Fort Myers Police, along with the city manager, telling them they need to talk about this shooting.
Yeah, and now in an interview that you will only see here on Wink, Councilman Streets is telling us what he's asking for. Wink News anchor Annette Montgomery sat down with him.
That's the gunshot from a Fort Myers police officer's gun that claimed the life of 57-year-old Christopher Jordan at his home on Stella Street December 1st. 3 weeks later, the family and community still hasn't heard from the chief of Fort Myers Police, a concern that has now reached city leaders.
Yeah, I somewhat empathize with the chief, but at some point in time, the people want to hear from their leader of the police department.
On Monday, Fort Myers City Councilman Johnny Street sent this letter to Jason Fields, the chief of Fort Myers Police Department. In it, he says he's well aware the details regarding the investigation cannot be released, but a statement to the family, community, and city council should have been released. This comes as Jordan's family and the Lee County NAACP has been calling on transparency from the department and reassurance that a thorough investigation would be done.
While they shot him, I don't think he had a gun, and they just wanted to shoot somebody, and they shot him.
There's just too much of not knowing by the family and the community. Who's the officer that's responsible? Who made this call? Who told the officer shoot?
You got to go. You got to let them know. We're not getting into releasing this or releasing that. Just ensure by looking in the community's face, by looking in the officer's face, that we're just going to do the right thing, regardless of what comes out. We did the right thing.
Councilman Streets offered to help with transparency for the city and the police department in his letter.
Perhaps the infancy of this police administration may not have the experience that I may have had in police-involved shootings. So I wanted to say, hey, I'm here if you need me. This is what we need to do.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement has taken over the investigation, but no other information is being released at this time. Annette Montgomery, Wink News.
Annette, thanks. Councilman Streets, along with the president of the NAACP, has a meeting with the police chief and his command staff coming up Thursday afternoon. And for the first time since the officer-involved shooting, Chief Fields responded to our questions. He sent us a statement that says, quote, "While I cannot provide an update on the recent Stella Street investigation, I can assure the community that a fair and impartial investigation is being conducted by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement into the events that took place on December 1st.